Sometimes to win a game, you just have to get good. You just have to nut up and win. So today we're covering cards that just win you the game. So cards like Doors and Nothingness, which is probably what most people think of or first introduced to Magic as free wins. Just cards that just literally win the game. You meet conditions, you win. And today we're covering those cards, kind of group them together, mainly for Commander because that's my favorite stomping ground, but you could apply these to other areas. So, time to win, just get good. Of course, Doors and Nothingness, just you win the game at 10 mana, but you need 2 of each. But there are a few commanders out there that can do it quite well. The Wellspring, the Dragon Engine, commanders which really feed a lot of mana through can pop that off easy. But probably not like your main win condition in that deck, but it's just an extra. I love the new Strixhaven Stadium, but Epic Struggle works in a similar manner. Both these cards care about having a huge board presence in terms of tokens and creatures, and just trying to get that as win condition. With Strixhaven, every time a creature you control deals coming to your opponent, you put a point counter on the Strixhaven Stadium. When there's 10 more, that player loses the game. The idea, you swing with a ton of tokens, at least 10 get through. Strixhaven says, you're out of here, you're dead mate. With Epic Struggle works great in like your elf decks, where if you have 20 more creatures, you just win the game. The great thing about Strixhaven is, at worst it's a mana rock, at best it's a free win, and Epic Struggle, for how easy that is to pull off, just getting 20 tokens on the board for 4 mana, no problem. Good commanders for these kind of cards would be like the Twin Casters, which double up all tokens on the entry, Reese, who has the ability to literally double your token presence, or Morath with the Wild decks, which are often just heavy token generators. More of a free life win, which, look, these are easy in Commander, but they are pretty scumbag. Do not be the guy that goes, Felidar Sovereign, and I win boys. What a shit card. Yes, it's 6 mana, and at the beginning of your upkeep you have 40 more life, you just win the game. Test of Endurance is a little bit cheaper, but it's at 50 or more life, which in Commander life gain decks, that's not hard at all. Commanders that you would probably see these kind of cards with would be like Oloro, which just passively gets life from the command zone, Helo decks, which are just absolute life gain trickle machines, or Kambal, just be kind of like a tax deck and just get a ton of life. Now, I've put these guys together because quite often these 3 cards are seen in the same deck. So you've got Thassa's Oracle, we've got Jace, the Wielder of Mysteries, and the Lad Maniac. Pretty much, your game plan is deck yourself to win. That's literally the wording on Jace and Maniac. Just if you draw a card, you have no library, you win the game. And Thassa's Oracle says if you try to draw cards greater than your deck, you win the game. These decks are like combo draw, heavy blue devotion, just hardcore draw engine decks. The kind of commander just feel like combo decks of Trident Hero, which are just absurdly strong. Sakashima, where you can have a lot of copies of token generators, or Azami, go like a full wizard build where you're just drawing tons of cards. Now these are kind of like my funner ones that are still viable. Darksteel Reactor, indestructible, hangs around, it's a pain for your opponent to deal. Most people aren't rocking Exile Artifact removal, so it's probably going to stay. Beginning upkeep, you put a charge counter on it, when it has 20 more you win the game. If you have ways to double up your tokens on it, easy victory, you just keep ticking it up. Helic Pinnacle, kind of in the same ballpark. It's a very cheap enchantment, comes out nice and early, has Shroud and Protection and whatnot. You need 100 counters on it to win the game, and you can feed mana in it to get said counters. Basically, you need 100 counters. You could go infinite mana loops to hopefully fit into it, or across a medium to long game, you could actually do it like trying. And Simic Ascendancy, this thing is broken in Commander. It's again a cheap enchantment. You can put counters on creatures. Doesn't really care about that part though. Whenever one or more counters are put on any creature control, you put a growth counter on the Ascendancy. When the Ascendancy itself has 20 more, you win the game. Depending on the commander you run, and you're having a lot of token counters moving and getting added, that thing just goes off easy, free win. Commanders here that are really strong is Vorul. The fact that you can double the number of counters on artifacts, enchantments, or lands, very good with Darksteel Reactor, or Pia the Imaginative Rascal. He just works with any counter-based deck. Now, if you want to go to like the artifact free win, Hellkite Tyrant, Mechanized Production, and Mirrodin Besiege are just up there. The thing I like about these 3 cards are you're not putting them in your deck for a free win. You're probably playing them anyway because they are just good cards. And if you get a win out of them, oh well. Mirrodin Besiege, when it enters, you're going to want to pick Phyrexian if you want to go for the free win. If you have 50 or more artifacts in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. So you can use it to start blowing people away turn after turn after turn if you've got multiple opponents. Mechanized Production is very strong with token decks that really care about like Thopters, Mirrors, or like Treasurer or food tokens or clue tokens, stuff like that, where Mechanized Production keep making copies of it, and then when you have 8 or more, you just win the game. The Hellkite Tyrant, he does great in your big multi-way commander games. When he hits an opponent, you can steal all the artifacts. You have 20 more artifacts, you just win the game, which in a red-blue artifact deck, you might just get 20 anyway, normally. the kind of commanders you'd see these kind of cards with would be like Saheeli the Gifted, which is an absurdly underrated commander, I believe. She's very powerful. Scythe Master Thopterus or Brutaclad, which can just pump out those tokens. Just, I love my artifact win. Now, kind of get into the more trolly, bit of a weird end. Approach the Second Sun. For a while, I did see play in Standard. Basically, first time you cast it, you're going to gain 7 life. If you play a second one, you just win the game. Then you got Battle of the Wits, which is a bit more of a casual troll card. Your library has to have 200 cards in it at the beginning of upkeep to win the game. Plus, that means you got to counter it, just a bit of a troll thing. Mortal Combat can be like a free win on some commander decks. Like if you're a graveyard self-mill, maybe a Golgari theme. 4 mana just to cop a free win if you have 20 more creatures in your yard isn't the harder thing. Though the problem is 20 creatures in your deck, into your yard. Yeah, that might be all your creatures in your library, all getting close to it. Revel in Riches, depending on the kind of deck you're playing, could be quite easy. Basically, you just need to have 10 or more treasure tokens to win the game. Maybe do like a actual true tribal pirate theme, could be viable. Liliana's Contract is an easy one. It gives you advantage of drawing 4 cards and losing some life, but hey, I'll take the draw any day. But at the beginning of upkeep, if you have 4 or more demons with different names, it's a free win. Probably best with your Rakdos, which we'll cover in a little bit. And Biovisionary, which got a little bit more popular lately with E6 Commander, which if you have 4 or more copies of that, you just win the game apparently. Yeah, like I said, Rakdos, great like demon tribal thing going on there. Maze's End. I love this card. This is great in Commander. It's good for budget builds because you're getting all your 5 colors if you need to. They cost nothing, and Maze's End itself is only a few bucks. You've got land, it doesn't take up any other main slots in your deck, and it can get more lands out itself, and it can just get you a free win. It's honestly a good card, I reckon, for budget Commander. Plus, there is a little bit of like Guildgate support going on now, I guess, from all the times I've been to Ravnica. Like you got, is it Creeper Vine, which can search for a Guildgate. You've got the Root card, which gets 2 Guildgates at your deck. Like there is a little bit of ramp tutor support there for Guildgates. Yeah, Nicobolus is a thing. Negate, each opponent doesn't have a legendary creature, Planeswalker just loses the game. He's very strong. If you're in a Grixis Commander deck, you're probably just running him anyway because he's good. But hey, that Negate just might kill someone outright. Now you've got the Vraska theme. I put these 4 together because they're all kind of doing the same thing, which I'm not the biggest fan of it because I've tried it before and they just get blown up. Pretty much with Vraska, she makes little weenies that if they do hit their opponent, they're insta-dead. And the same thing with the Vorpal Sword. Pretty much if the creature hits, insta-kill their player. It's Vraska's thing. Okay, now we're getting into the real trash poop end. These cards I don't like because they're incredibly restrictive and you have to meet a lot of factors to get the victory. With Barren Glory, it's 6 mana, which is a lot of already, but you need to have no permanence and no hand to win the game. Yeah, no thanks. Hedron Alignment, you have to have 1 in your hand, graveyard, and battlefield and an exile. That's a lot of work, plus the 3 mana pop anyway. Happily Ever After, you have to have like all 5 colors, you have to have more creatures or something, you have to have more life. It's too many conditions. And then Near Death Experience, if you have to get down to exactly 1 life to win. You're, like the name says, very near death. Your opponent could just go Firebolt or anything. You are just done. Just poke you, you're dead. Then you got this stupid thing from the Azorius Guild. I don't even know how to pronounce it, I'm not even going to try. But you have to defend it for 5 turns, not take any damage to let it get the 5 counters on it to win the game. Not viable in a multi-way commander or standard casual. It's a trash card, no one's ever played it. And then you got the Convergence. It's a countdown from 7, and then whoever has the most life at the end of 7 has the victory. Like, what if your opponent has more life than you? You're shitting on yourself. No, don't run it, it's bad. And you got the All-Seeing, which when it hits an opponent, you can reveal your hand. If you have 6 different CMCs in there, you can make them lose the game, like kind of shock them dead. That's a lot of work, like either dumb luck or a lot of hand manipulation to get that to go off. Then you got Adrata, which I did a commander deck on her before. This is probably the better of the bunch. Pretty much when she deals command damage to a player, you exile target creature they control and you put a hit counter on that card. They lose the game if they have 3 or more counters, creatures exiled with counters on them this way. So at least with her, you can have her out multiple turns, she can die a few times, you can recast her. Like, those hit counters persist along the length of the game, like whether she's dead or not. So you might get a win quite later on, but hey, you can still pull a win out with her. Then Angel of Destiny, I still don't get this card, I don't really like it to be honest. It's weird that it gives your opponent life. Every time your creatures deal combat damage to the player, you and that player get that much. But then, at the beginning of your end step, if you have 15 or more than you're starting, each player who the Destiny Angel attack this turn loses the game. It is weird, like you gotta prop up your opponent to potentially insta-kill him. How about I just kill him anyway with normal combat damage? Then you got Malaise Aria, which is pretty much you need a creature with power 20 or greater just to win the game. Hey, in some decks that is totally viable, especially in Naya. Maybe just do like a Hydra deck and just free win possibly. And then you got Triskaidekaphobia, which I guess could work with a lot of luck or a lot of trickle damage. Basically, each upkeep, you choose everyone to go up 1 or everyone to go down 1. If someone hits on 13, they're done, they're dead. Like I said, a lot of trickle damage, a lot of 1s here, 2s there. You could possibly manipulate it into your favor. It's a lot of work though. And these are probably the ones I find the hardest to find a free win with. The brand new Deck of Many Things is kind of a fun card, but you have to have no hand, roll a perfect d20, then you can put any creature card from anyone's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. When that creature dies, the owner loses game. What if they don't have creatures? What if you don't hit the 20? There's a lot of things. Plus it's expensive itself to activate and get it out there. You've got Phage Untouchable, which is bad in Commander, is the only way to say it. You can't really play her as a Commander because if you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game yourself. If she touches anything, it's insta-dead, including players. Cool, bro. But trying to play her in Commander without killing yourself as a Commander is hard. Coalition Victory, probably because it's banned in Commander, it's too easy of a win because Guild Gates and other lands like that are a thing. And then Biorhythm itself, I think it's still banned in Commander, isn't it? Because if you don't have any creatures, your life total becomes 0 and you're dead. So, maybe one of these cards you might chuck in your deck. They are just possibly free wins. Some are a lot better than others, some are very trash. I personally find with your free win cards, they are better when they're a supplement to the theme of the deck already. Don't build a deck around a free win like this. My example would be Epic Struggle. If you're running a elf tribal deck and you're full-blown elf, that's the theme of the deck. If you happen to draw Epic Struggle and it happens to get you a win here every now and then, totally fine. But if every game you're going to wait a tutor for it to try and win off that, not as fun for your opponents, to be honest. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts. And have you ever been killed by any of these? I personally have been killed by Doorway to Nothingness. Michael, if you see this video, probably one of the most depressing points in my Magic history because I'm sitting there looking at it going, shit, I can't do anything. I just die apparently. I had the board presence, I was going to win. I just die though. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts and have a good one. See ya.